Namo, Amitabha, Buddha, dear friends, dear elders, and all gentle hearts listening tonight. May you be safe. May you be at ease right here, right now. Have you ever noticed how the night becomes very quiet, yet your mind refuses to rest? Your body feels tired, heavy on the bed, but inside thoughts keep moving. Worries about health, about money, about your children, your family, about the future that feels uncertain, and the past that sometimes returns without invitation. You may lie there listening to the soft hum of the heater, the ticking of a clock, or the distant sound of cars passing by, and wonder quietly, why can't I sleep, even when everything around me is calm? After 60, many people think this restlessness is just age, just something to endure. But the Buddha taught something much gentler. Tonight, we will not force positive thinking. We will not tell the mind to be quiet or be strong. Instead, I will share a simple Buddhist understanding, a way to give the mind a safe place to rest, the way you might gently rock a child back to sleep. If your heart is tired, stay with me. There is a soft path forward, and we will walk it together slowly. Namo, Amitabha Buddha. And so if there truly is a soft path forward, it begins by seeing one simple truth that many people quietly miss after 60. The body is finally allowed to slow down, but the mind is not. No one ever taught it how to rest. For most of your life, the mind was trained to stay alert, to plan, to fix, to protect, to worry a little just in case. You woke up early for work. You watched the clock. You listened for the phone to ring. You kept lists in your head, groceries, bills, appointments, responsibilities. Even love carried a kind of vigilance. Did I do enough? Did I say the right thing? Will my children be okay? Now many of those outer demands have softened. Retirement papers are signed. The house grows quieter. Even the days move more slowly. Yet when night comes, the mind still behaves as if it is on duty. It keeps pacing like a guard who was never told the shift had ended. You may recognize this. The lights are off. The room is dim. A small lamp casts a warm circle on the wall. Outside, the neighborhood is still maybe a distant siren, maybe the low hum of traffic far away. Your body sinks into the mattress joints, aching just enough to remind you of time. And yet inside the mind opens old drawers. What about my health? Did I save enough? Are my children really happy? What will happen if I get sick? What did I do wrong back then? These thoughts don't arrive loudly. They come softly, one after another, like footsteps in a hallway, at night. And the more you try to push them away, the more awake you feel. In American culture especially, we are taught to value independence, to handle things, to stay strong. Even in later years, many people feel they must keep everything together, must not become a burden, must not show too much fear. So, the mind keeps working, even when the heart is tired. The Buddha understood this deeply. He did not blame the mind for being restless. He taught that the mind simply follows its training. For decades, it learned how to do. It was never shown how to stop. In the Buddhist teachings, this is not a failure. It is not a personal weakness. It is just habit. A habit of mind shaped by years of survival, responsibility, and care for others. The Buddha spoke of suffering not as punishment, but as friction, like hands rubbing together. When life changes, but the mind refuses to change with it, heat is created. Tension, restlessness, quiet anxiety that shows up most clearly at night. After 60, many people believe they should think positively to fix this. But forced positivity only adds another job for the mind. Now, I must not only worry, I must worry correctly. And the heart becomes even more tired. The Buddhist path offers something very different. It begins by saying, you do not need to fix your mind. You need to understand it. When you look closely, you may notice something gentle and surprising. The mind is not restless because something is wrong. It is restless because it is still protecting you, still trying to prepare you for danger, even when the danger is no longer here. This is why the Buddha emphasized wisdom over control. He taught that when understanding arises, the mind naturally softens. Like a clenched hand opening on its own, once it realizes there is no threat. In many Buddhist temples across the United States, you might hear the sound of a bell in the evening. It does not shout. It does not demand attention. It simply rings clear and calm. And something in the body responds before the thinking mind does. Shoulders lower. Breathing slows. The heart recognizes safety. That bell is not telling you to be peaceful. It is reminding you that peace is already possible. After 60, the mind needs a new education, not one of productivity, but one of permission. Permission to pause. Permission to not solve everything tonight. Permission to rest without earning it. The Buddha taught that much of our suffering comes from taking responsibility for things that are not actually ours to carry in this moment. The future is not here. The past is already complete. Yet the mind keeps lifting them both again and again, as if afraid they will be forgotten. But nothing important is lost when you rest. This stage of life is not meant for constant vigilance. It is meant for clarity, for seeing what truly matters and letting the rest gently fall away. You may notice that when you stop judging your restlessness, it already begins to change. When you stop asking, "What is wrong with me?" and instead ask, "What has my mind been doing all these years?" compassion naturally arises. And compassion is not weakness. In Buddhism, compassion is wisdom turning toward the heart. Tonight, there is nothing you need to force, nothing you need to resolve. Simply noticing that your mind was never taught how to rest is already the beginning of rest itself. And when the mind understands this, it becomes ready to learn a new way of being, one that does not involve effort strain or constant vigilance. In the next gentle step, we will look at why the mind resists rest so strongly and how the Buddha showed a way to loosen that resistance, not by fighting it, but by understanding it with kindness. Namo, Amitabha Buddha. When the mind becomes ready to rest, something very subtle often appears first, a quiet resistance. It does not shout, it whispers. It says, "This shouldn't be happening. My body shouldn't hurt like this. My life shouldn't feel so small now. I shouldn't still be worried at my age." You may notice it late at night. The room is dim. A thin line of moonlight rests on the floor. Your breathing slows for a moment, and then the mind tightens again. It pushes back against what is already here, against the ache in the knees, against the heaviness in the chest, against the simple truth of this moment. This resistance is not anger. It is not drama. It is a soft, constant pressure, like trying to hold a door closed against the wind. And the more the mind pushes, the more tired the heart becomes. The Buddha spoke gently about this. He taught that suffering does not begin with pain. It begins with the sentence, "This should not be so." That sentence may not even appear as words. It may show up as a tightening in the jaw, a shallow breath, a restless turning from side to side. Imagine sitting by a lake at dusk. The water is still reflecting the last light of day. Then a hand keeps reaching in, trying to smooth the surface, trying to make it calmer. Each touch creates ripples. The intention is peace, but the action creates disturbance. This is what the mind does when it resists reality. In Buddhism, this resistance is not judged. It is understood. The mind resists because it believes resistance will protect you. It believes that if it argues enough, life will return to how it used to be. Stronger body, clearer roles, fewer losses. But time does not move backward, no matter how convincing the arguments feel. Many elders carry this resistance quietly. In American culture, especially, people are taught to stay positive, to keep going, to not complain. So, resistance hides under effort, under forced smiles, under busy days and exhausted nights. I once sat with an elderly man named Robert at a small temple outside of Seattle. He came every week, always early, always polite. One evening, after the incense smoke thinned and the chanting ended, he stayed seated. His hands rested on his knees, fingers slightly curled, as if still holding something. He said softly, "I don't mind the pain so much. I mind that it shouldn't be here." In that moment, his shoulders were tight, his brow gently furrowed. Nothing dramatic, just a quiet fight happening inside. When the monk rang the bell, the sound spread through the room like warm air. Robert's face changed. His eyes softened, not because the pain disappeared, but because for a brief moment the argument stopped. The Buddha taught that life contains dukkha, discomfort, unsatisfactoriness, not as a mistake, but as a condition of being human. Bodies age, relationships change, plans dissolve. This is not punishment, it is nature. What creates suffering is not dukkha itself. It is tanha, the thirst for things to be different than they are, the thirst for yesterday, the thirst for control, the thirst for certainty. When the mind says, "This shouldn't be happening," it is drinking from that thirst. And thirst is never satisfied by more thinking. This is why acceptance in Buddhism is not giving up. It is seeing clearly. It is saying, "This is what is here right now," not with bitterness, not with resignation, but with honesty. Picture a lotus flower. Its roots are in the mud. Thick, dark, heavy mud. The flower does not argue with the mud. It does not ask why it must grow there. It uses what is present and rises naturally toward light. Acceptance works the same way. When you stop fighting the ache in your body, the ache often softens. When you stop arguing with your age, the heart feels lighter. When you stop telling yourself you should be different, the breath deepens on its own. This does not mean you stop caring for your health. It does not mean you stop making wise plans. It means you stop punishing yourself for being human. The Buddha taught that much of our suffering is optional, created by the stories we repeat about what should be. Each should is like adding weight to a bag you already carry. You may notice that when you simply name what is happening, this is worry, this is pain, this is loneliness, something shifts. The mind relaxes its grip. The body feels less attacked. In many Buddhist communities across America, elders practice a simple phrase during difficult moments, just like this. Not "I like this." Not "this will last forever." just like this. It is a way of stepping out of the fight. Late at night, you can try this gently. When a thought arises saying, "I shouldn't feel this way," place a hand on your chest. Feel the warmth. Feel the rise and fall of your breath. And quietly say, "This is what is here right now." Notice how the shoulders drop a little. Notice how the jaw unclenches. Notice how the mind, no longer busy arguing, begins to tire in a healthy way. Acceptance is the first doorway to rest. Without it, no practice will hold. With it, even simple breathing becomes medicine. After 60 life is not asking you to win an argument with reality. It is asking you to walk alongside it, to move with change instead of against it, to let go of the exhausting habit of resistance. When the fight ends, even briefly, peace has room to enter. And once peace touches the mind, even for a moment, the heart remembers something it has always known, that safety does not come from control, but from understanding. And when understanding deepens, the mind becomes ready for the next gentle step, learning how to place attention where it heals, rather than where it tightens. Namo, Amitabha Buddha. When the fight finally loosens its grip, even for a single breath, something quiet becomes possible. The mind, no longer pushing against life, begins to look for a place to land. And the closest, safest place it can land is not in thought, not in memory, not in the future, but in the body. This is where the Buddha always began. Late at night, when worries circle and thoughts repeat themselves, the mind feels like it is trapped in a small room with no windows. Every idea leads to another idea. Every question opens 10 more. But the body is different. The body lives only here. It does not wander into tomorrow. It does not replay yesterday. It knows only sensation, warmth, pressure, movement, stillness. You may notice this now. The way your back meets the bed or the chair, the weight of your hands resting where they are, the subtle rise of the chest as breath enters, and the gentle fall as it leaves. These things are not trying to improve themselves. They are simply happening. Many people believe meditation begins in the mind. The Buddha taught otherwise. He taught that when the mind is overwhelmed, you bring it home to the body first, not to control it, not to force calm, but to give it something real to touch. In Buddhist language, this is mindfulness of the body, but you don't need to remember the words. You only need to feel what is already here. Imagine standing barefoot on cool grass in the early morning. The mind may still be busy, but the feet know where they are. Or imagine holding a warm cup of tea late at night. The steam rises slowly. The hands feel the heat. For a moment, the future disappears. The body anchors you. This is not a technique. It is a return. I once sat beside an elderly woman named Margaret at a small meditation hall in California. She had trouble sleeping for years. Her nights were long, filled with thoughts about her husband who had passed her children, living far away, her body no longer moving the way it once did. She told me, "When my thoughts start racing, it feels like I'm falling." One evening, instead of telling her to calm her mind, a teacher asked her to place one hand on her belly and one on her chest, to feel the warmth, to feel the movement, to stay there for 3 breaths. Margaret's face softened almost immediately. Her jaw unclenched. Her shoulders dropped. Not because her life had changed, but because her attention had. The Buddha explained this clearly. When attention stays in the mind alone, it feeds stories. When attention returns to the body, it feeds presence. Presence does not solve problems. It dissolves unnecessary suffering. This is especially important after 60. The body may carry pain, stiffness, fatigue. Many people avoid feeling it, afraid it will make things worse. But gentle awareness does the opposite. When you meet the body with kindness instead of resistance, it responds. Try this now, very simply. Feel where your body is supported. The bed beneath you, the chair holding you, the floor steady and unmoving. Let your weight sink down as if you are being gently held by something larger than yourself. Bring attention to your breath, not to change it, just to notice. Where do you feel it most clearly? At the nose, the chest, the belly. There is no right place. Let the breath be natural, like waves touching the shore. If thoughts appear, and they do not push them away, simply return to sensation. The feeling of air, the warmth of the body, the quiet rhythm that has carried you your entire life without asking for instructions. In Buddhist teaching, the body is called a doorway. When the mind is lost, you walk through this doorway back into the present moment. And the present moment is the only place where rest exists. You may hear a sound outside, a car passing, a dog barking in the distance. Let it come and go. Sounds do not disturb the body unless the mind argues with them. Let them float by like leaves on water. This practice is especially helpful at night because it gives the mind permission to stop working. You are not asking it to solve anything. You are inviting it to rest in what is already stable. After years of responsibility, many people feel they must remain alert even in bed. But the Buddha taught that rest is not neglect. It is wisdom. A rested mind sees more clearly. A rested heart heals. In some Buddhist temples, Elders are encouraged to bow slowly, feeling each movement, each shift of weight, not as ritual for ritual's sake, but as a reminder the body is alive right now. And because it is alive, peace is possible right now. You may notice something gentle happening as you stay with the body. The thoughts do not stop immediately, but they lose their urgency. They begin to feel farther away, like voices in another room. The body becomes the center, and the center is calm. This is not escaping life. This is meeting life without fear. When the Buddha spoke of refuge, he did not only mean temples or teachings. He meant finding a place of safety within your own experience. The body, when met with awareness and kindness, becomes that refuge. After 60, you do not need complicated practices. You do not need to understand everything. You only need to remember how to come home. Tonight, if worries arise, again, do not follow them. Do not fight them. Gently place attention where your body meets the world. Let sensation become your anchor. Let breath become your companion. From this grounded place, the mind naturally quiets. And when the mind quiets, it becomes ready for something even deeper. A point of focus that gathers the heart, steadies the spirit, and opens the door to true rest. And that gentle point of focus is what we will turn toward next. Namo, Amitabha Buddha. When the body has become a place of refuge, the mind naturally begins to look for something gentle to hold. Not a problem to solve, not a memory to examine, but a single, steady presence, something simple enough to rest with and kind enough to trust. This is where Namo quietly enters. Many people misunderstand Namo, especially in the West. They imagine it as wish-making or as a way to ask for luck, health, or protection. Some feel unsure, thinking, I don't want to beg. I don't want blind faith. But the Buddha's path was never about superstition. It was always about understanding the mind. The word Niyam means to remember, to keep close. The Buddha's name becomes an object the mind can return to again and again without struggle. Late at night, when thoughts scatter like dry leaves in the wind, the mind desperately wants one place to settle. If it does not find a wholesome place, it will cling to worries instead. Health, money, regret, fear. These become its anchors, even though they hurt. Niyamfat offers a different anchor. Imagine walking into a quiet temple hall. The lights are low. A single candle flickers. Somewhere in the distance, a bell rings, not sharp, but deep and round. The sound fills the space, then fades. For a moment, everything else falls away. the mind stops reaching outward. It gathers. That gathering is the heart of Niyam Fat. When you softly repeat a Dida Fat, you are not asking for something to appear. You are allowing the mind to come home. Each syllable is like placing a gentle hand on a restless child's back. Nothing is demanded. Nothing is forced. In Buddhist teaching, when the mind stays with one wholesome object, it begins to unify. Scattered thoughts lose their power. This is called din, steadiness, collectedness, and from steadiness, calm naturally flows. After 60, this is especially important. The mind has carried many roles: parent, provider, protector, caretaker, decision maker. Even when those roles soften, the habit of mental busyness remains. Niyam Fat gives the mind permission to stop carrying everything. I once met an elderly woman named Helen at a Buddhist center in Northern California. She had arthritis and often woke up several times a night. She told me, "When I wake up, my mind starts listing everything that could go wrong." Instead of trying to silence her thoughts, she learned to whisper a Dida Fat with her breath. Inhale gently, AD. Exhale slowly, Dafat. Over time, something changed. Her face, once tight with effort, softened. A small smile appeared, not forced, but natural, the kind that rises when you feel accompanied. She said, "It feels like I'm not alone with my thoughts anymore. This is not imagination. It is how the mind works." The Buddha taught that the mind becomes what it repeatedly rests upon. When it rests on fear, fear grows. When it rests on kindness and clarity, those qualities deepen. The Buddha's name represents awakening compassion and peace, not as concepts, but as felt qualities. When you hold that name gently, your nervous system responds. The breath slows, the heart rate eases, muscles soften. The body receives the message it is safe to rest. This is not magic, it is alignment. Niyam Fat is especially powerful before sleep because the mind is already close to the threshold between waking and rest. It does not need stimulation. It needs simplicity. Sound, one rhythm, one steady companion. If you wish, you can try this now. Let your attention rest in the body, just as before. Feel the support beneath you. Then, without moving your lips if you prefer, begin to repeat softly in the mind a Dida Fat. Do not rush. Do not chant loudly. Let the words float on the breath like a leaf carried by water. If your mind wanders, do not scold it. Gently bring it back as many times as needed. In Buddhist understanding, returning is the practice, not staying perfectly focused. Some nights, the repetition will feel smooth. Other nights, it will feel broken. Both are fine. You are not performing. You are accompanying yourself. For those who resonate more with compassion, you may also rest with Namo Quan Theum Bo Tat. The energy is tender, listening, embracing suffering without fear. Many elders find comfort there, especially when loneliness or grief visits at night. The key is not which name you choose. The key is sincerity and gentleness. Niemphut also carries a deeper meaning. When the mind rests on a wholesome object, it stops creating new unwholesome habits. Worry does not deepen. Resentment does not harden. Fear does not multiply. In this way, Niemphut quietly transforms karma not by erasing the past, but by changing how the present moment is lived. Each calm breath is a new seed. Each gentle repetition is a small act of wisdom. Each moment of collectedness is a gift to your future self. In many Vietnamese Buddhist families living in America, elders place a small image of the Buddha near their bed, not to worship in fear, but as a reminder, awakening is possible here even now, even in this aging body, even in this uncertain world. When you Niemphut at night, you are not asking to escape life. You are learning how to meet it without trembling. You may notice after some time that the thoughts do not disappear completely, but they no longer pull you away. They pass like clouds crossing the sky. The Buddha's name remains steady and bright, like the moon behind them. And when sleep finally comes, it comes gently. Not as collapse from exhaustion, but as surrender into trust. This is the quiet power of Niemphut. Not luck, not wishing, but gathering the mind into one peaceful place until peace becomes natural. And when the mind is gathered, something even deeper begins to change. Not only how you sleep, but how the seeds of your life are planted. That quiet transformation is what we will turn toward next. Namo, Amitabha Buddha. When the mind begins to gather and rest even gently, a deeper truth quietly reveals itself. Every moment of the night is not empty. Something is always being planted. You may be lying still, eyes closed, the room wrapped in darkness. From the outside, nothing seems to be happening. But inside, seeds are being sown. Seeds of fear, or seeds of peace. Seeds of kindness, or seeds of tension. This is what the Buddha called karma, not fate, not punishment, but action in its most subtle form. Karma does not only happen during dramatic moments of life, it happens in small, repeated ways, especially at night. Think about how the evening often unfolds. The house grows quiet. The television turns off. The phone is placed face down on the nightstand. The body finally stops moving, and then the mind begins its work. Some nights, the mind replays conversations, a sentence said too sharply, a decision that still feels unfinished, a worry about money, medical bills, or becoming dependent on others. The face tightens slightly. The breath becomes shallow. The body prepares for danger that is not actually present. Other nights, the mind rests more softly. It follows the breath. It repeats the Buddha's name. The jaw loosens. The shoulders sink. The heart feels accompanied. From the Buddhist perspective, these two nights are not the same even if they look identical from the outside. The Buddha taught that karma is shaped by intention. Not only what you do, but how the heart is holding the moment. When the mind spins in fear, it strengthens the habit of fear. When the mind rests in trust, it strengthens the habit of trust. Neither happens by accident. Imagine a garden. Each evening you walk through it with a small bag of seeds. You may not remember exactly which seeds you scatter each night, but over time, the garden shows you clearly. Weeds grow where weeds were planted. Flowers bloom where care was given. The mind works the same way. After 60, many people feel it is too late to change deep habits. They say, "This is just how I am now." But the Buddha never taught that age locks the heart. He taught that every moment of awareness is a new beginning. You may notice this especially when Namo becomes steady. The repetition creates a pause. In that pause, intention becomes visible. You can feel the difference between feeding worry and feeding calm. I remember an elderly man named Thomas who attended evening meditation at a small temple in Texas. He was practical, thoughtful, and not easily impressed. One night, he asked quietly, "Are you saying that just lying in bed worrying is doing something?" The teacher nodded gently. Thomas sat very still after that, his eyes lowered. He said, "I thought I wasn't doing anything at night. I thought I was just stuck." That was a turning point. The Buddha explained that karma is created through body, speech, and mind. And the mind, especially at rest, is incredibly powerful. When the body is still mental, habits become stronger for better or for worse. This is why nights matter so much. If each night ends in tension, the body learns tension. If each night ends in self-blame, the heart learns harshness. If each night ends in fear of tomorrow, the mind learns to wake up already afraid. But if each night ends in gentleness, something else grows. When you repeat the Buddha's name instead of rehearsing worry, you are not avoiding reality. You are choosing which seeds deserve water. You are saying, I will not strengthen fear tonight. This is not denial, it is wisdom. The Buddha never promised that pain would disappear. He promised that suffering could be transformed. And transformation begins in moments like these, quiet, ordinary, often unnoticed. In many Buddhist families in America, elders speak of leaving the day clean, not perfect, just clean enough. It means not carrying anger into sleep, not carrying regret like a stone in the chest, not carrying unfinished conversations that can wait until morning. This is karma in action. You may feel resistance when you hear this. A thought may arise. So now, I am responsible for my suffering. The Buddha would answer gently. Responsibility is not blame. It is empowerment. You did not choose the body you have. You did not choose all the losses you have endured. You did not choose the world as it is. But you can choose again and again how the heart meets this moment. That choice is small, quiet, almost invisible. It looks like turning toward the breath instead of a memory. It looks like whispering a didafat instead of repeating a fear. It looks like placing a hand on the chest when anxiety rises instead of tightening against it. Each of these moments plants a seed of peace, and peace has consequences. When the mind rests more gently at night, sleep deepens. When sleep deepens, the body heals. When the body heals, patience grows. When patience grows, words soften. When words soften, relationships change. This is how karma moves not as punishment from above, but as a natural unfolding. The Buddha compared wholesome karma to a lamp in a dark room. You do not need to push the darkness away. You only need to light the lamp. Darkness leaves on its own. Tonight, and every night after you are lighting something, you may also notice that when you choose calm, old habits protest. Fear says, don't let your guard down. Regret says, we're not finished yet. These voices are familiar. They have protected you in the past. Thank them gently and return to what is wholesome. After 60, karma becomes clearer because time feels precious. But this is not a reason for fear. It is a reason for care. Each night becomes an opportunity not to fix your life, not to resolve everything, but to end the day in a way that does not add more weight to tomorrow. You may not change decades of habit in one evening, but you do not need to. Karma does not ask for perfection. It responds to consistency. A single night of kindness matters. A single night of letting go matters. A single night of resting the heart matters. When you lie down tonight, ask yourself gently, not with judgment, but with curiosity, what am I planting right now? And if the answer is not what you wish, simply choose again. That choice, made with awareness, is already a blessing. As the mind learns to plant peace, something softens around the past as well. Old regrets loosen their grip. Memories no longer arrive with such sharp edges. This gentle reconciliation is the next gift the practice offers, and it is where we will turn our attention next. Namo, Amitabha Buddha. When the mind begins to plant gentler seeds at night, something unexpected often rises to the surface the past, not as a story told once and finished, but as a feeling that still lives in the body. A tightness in the chest, a quiet ache behind the eyes, a sentence that returns without warning. If only I had known better. Many elders carry this silently. During the day, life moves well enough, but at night, when the house is still, the mind opens old rooms. A marriage that did not turn out as hoped. Words spoken too sharply to a child. Opportunities missed. Years spent surviving instead of living. These memories do not come to teach. They come asking for forgiveness. You may notice how they arrive. Not all at once. One image, one face, one moment. The body reacts before the mind has time to explain. The breath shortens. The stomach tightens. The heart contracts as if bracing for judgment. In American culture, self-reflection is often encouraged, but self-forgiveness is rarely taught. People learn to take responsibility, to own their mistakes, to improve themselves. But many never learn how to lay down the weight of self-blame when improvement is no longer the task. The Buddha understood this burden deeply. He did not teach forgiveness as an idea. He taught it as a release away to stop hurting oneself with yesterday's understanding. In Buddhist teaching, the self is not a fixed thing. The person you were 20 years ago is not the person you are now. Different fears, different pressures, different knowledge. To judge that earlier version of yourself with today's awareness is like blaming a child for not knowing how to read before they were taught. Yet the mind does this all the time. You may hear it whisper, "I should have been wiser. I should have been more patient. I should have done more." Each should presses down like a stone. I once met a woman named Susan at a retreat center in Arizona. She was quiet, attentive, always sitting near the back. One evening during a sharing circle, she said softly, "I can't sleep because my mind keeps replaying my failures." As she spoke, her hands twisted together in her lap. Her shoulders curved inward. She wasn't angry. She was tired. A teacher asked her gently, "When you made those choices, what did you know then?" Susan paused, her eyes filled with tears. "I didn't know what I know." "No," she said, "that pause was important. In that pause, the mind stopped attacking. Understanding entered. The Buddha taught that suffering continues when we cling even to regret. Clinging to guilt does not repair the past. It only poisons the present. This is why compassion toward oneself is not indulgence. It is clarity. In Buddhist practice, forgiveness often begins with recognition. Seeing clearly that you acted from the conditions you were in, the fears you carried, the responsibilities you shouldered, the limitations you did not choose. This does not erase responsibility. It softens cruelty. There is a simple image, often used in Buddhist teachings, a person crossing a river on a raft. Once they reach the other side, they do not carry the raft on their back for the rest of their life. They thank it and leave it behind. Your past choices were rafts. They carried you through something. You are allowed to set them down. At night, when memories arise, try not to argue with them. Do not push them away. Do not analyze them endlessly. Instead, notice how the body holds them. Where does the tension live? In the chest, the throat, the belly. Place a hand there gently. Feel the warmth of your own touch. Let the breath move naturally beneath your palm. And then, in a soft inner voice, say, "That version of me was doing their best. Not perfectly, not wisely, but honestly with the awareness they had." In Buddhist language, this is a form of samhoi, not confession before punishment, but recognition before compassion. You are not asking for permission to be free. You are allowing yourself to be human. Many elders find this practice especially healing before sleep. The mind, no longer occupied with defending or condemning, begins to rest. The face softens, the jaw relaxes. A quiet sigh escapes without effort. You may notice resistance at first. A voice may protest. If I forgive myself, does that mean it didn't matter? The Buddha's answer is gentle. Forgiveness does not say the past didn't matter. It says it does not need to keep hurting you now. In Vietnamese Buddhist communities across the United States, elders sometimes recite a simple evening verse, acknowledging mistakes of body, speech, and mind, and then letting them go. Not to forget, but to end the day clean. You can do this simply. Before sleep, recall one moment from your past that still carries weight. Do not choose the heaviest one. Choose one that feels manageable. Notice the emotions that arise. Then say quietly, I see you. I understand you. I release you. Let the words be slow. Let the body respond. You may feel a subtle shift, a loosening, a warmth, a small space opening where there was tightness before. That space is important. It is where peace enters. The Buddha taught that holding anger toward oneself is no different from holding anger toward another. It burns the one who holds it. Compassion extinguishes the fire. After 60, forgiveness becomes an act of wisdom. There is no more need to harden the heart to survive. Life no longer asks you to prove anything. It invites you to rest. You may notice that as self-forgiveness deepens, the mind becomes quieter at night. Thoughts still arise, but they do not stab. Memories still appear, but they feel farther away, like photographs rather than wounds. This is not forgetting your life. This is honoring it without cruelty, and something else happens. When you forgive yourself, it becomes easier to forgive others. Old resentments lose their sharpness. Faces that once triggered anger now appear with more softness. Not because what happened was acceptable, but because you no longer wish to carry it. In Buddhist understanding, this is how karma begins to untangle. When the heart releases self-hatred, it stops creating new suffering. The past loosens its grip. The future feels less threatening. Tonight, if memories come, greet them gently. They are not enemies. They are messengers asking for kindness. And when kindness is offered sincerely and without conditions, the heart settles. The breath deepens. The body knows it is safe. From this place of forgiveness, another quiet gift emerges: the ability to notice what is still present, still supportive, still worthy of gratitude. That gentle turning of the heart is the next doorway we will step through together. Namo, Amitabha Buddha. When the heart has received enough to rest, it naturally wants to move outward, not in effort, not in obligation, but in a quiet, almost instinctive way, like warmth spreading through the body once the cold has eased. This movement is called Hoi Hyung in Buddhism. It means allowing the peace you have touched to flow beyond yourself. At night, this practice becomes especially gentle. You may be lying still, eyes closed, breath slow. The room feels softer now. The edges of the day have blurred. And in this calm, faces often appear: people you love. People You worry about people you miss, people who have already gone. A child living far away, a spouse sleeping in another room or no longer here, a parent whose voice you still hear in memory, a friend whose name has not been spoken in a long time. These faces do not come to disturb you. They come because the heart is open. In American life, many people are taught to focus inward for healing. And this is important. But the Buddha taught something even more liberating. When the heart gives freely, it feels lighter than when it only protects itself. Hoi Hung is not a ritual of fear. It is not asking the universe for favors. It is an act of alignment, letting kindness move in the direction it naturally wants to go. Imagine lighting a candle in a dark room. The flame does not lose anything by giving light. The room simply becomes warmer, clearer, safer. And the one who lit the candle can see more easily as well. This is how goodwill works. In Buddhist understanding, when the mind generates wholesome intention, wishing peace, ease, safety, it creates conditions that soften suffering. Not only for others, but for yourself. The heart that wishes well does not stay cramped. It expands. You may notice this if you try it gently now. Bring to mind someone you care about. Do not choose someone complicated. Choose someone simple. Perhaps a grandchild, a neighbor, a friend who once showed you kindness. See them as they are, not as you want them to be, just as they are, breathing, living, carrying their own worries. And then, without effort, say quietly in your heart, "May you be safe. May you be at ease. May you rest tonight." Notice what happens in your body. The chest often feels warmer. The breath flows more freely. The face softens as if smiling from the inside. This is not imagination. It is the nervous system responding to kindness. Now, if you feel ready, bring to mind someone who has passed away. Someone whose absence still leaves a space. You may feel a heaviness at first, a tightening behind the eyes, a hollow feeling in the chest. Do not push this away. In many Buddhist traditions, practiced in the United States, especially among Vietnamese and Asian American communities, elders dedicate their evening practice to ancestors and loved ones who have died, not because they believe the dead are lost, but because connection continues in the heart. You might picture a small altar, a candle, a photo, a bowl of water, or simply imagine them resting in a peaceful place. Then say gently, "If there is any peace in my heart tonight, may it reach you." If there is any light here, may it touch you. Something subtle often shifts. Grief does not disappear, but it feels less sharp, less lonely, as if love has found a place to go. This is the quiet power of Hoi Hung. It allows love to keep moving instead of turning inward and becoming pain. You can also include yourself in this circle. Many people forget this part. Place a hand on your chest. Feel the warmth beneath your palm and say, "May I be gentle with myself. May I rest without guilt. May I know that I am enough tonight." In Buddhist teaching, wishing well for yourself is not selfish. It is necessary. A heart that refuses kindness for itself eventually runs dry. Hoi Hung also carries a deeper wisdom. It loosens the tight boundary between me and others. When the heart no longer feels separate, fear softens, loneliness eases. The night feels less empty. I once sat with an elderly woman named Eleanor in a hospice room. The lights were dim. Machines hummed quietly. She could no longer sleep easily, but each night she whispered the same words, "May they be okay." When asked who they were, she smiled faintly and said, "Everyone." Her face, though tired, looked peaceful. Not because her situation was easy, but because her heart was not closed in on itself. The Buddha taught that generosity of intention is one of the highest forms of giving. You do not need money. You do not need strength. You only need a willing heart. At night, when the world is quiet and defenses are down, this kind of giving is especially powerful. It clears the residue of the day. It releases what you could not fix. It says to life, "I have done enough for now." You may notice that after Hoi Hung sleep arrives differently. There is less grasping, less mental checking. The mind does not need to rehearse tomorrow. It feels complete, even if nothing was solved. This does not mean you stop caring. It means you stop carrying everything alone. In Buddhist understanding, when wholesome intention is released outward, it becomes a bridge. A bridge between you and others. Between the living and the dead. Between effort and rest. Tonight, you can keep this simple. Before sleep, offer one sincere wish of peace for someone you love, for someone who suffers for yourself. Let it be quiet. Let it be real. You do not need to visualize anything perfectly. Intention is enough. As you rest, trust that this goodness does not disappear. It moves where it needs to go. And in moving outward, it leaves your heart lighter. When the heart is light, sleep becomes a natural continuation, not an escape. And in that rest, another understanding begins to form that your life exactly as it is now still carries meaning, still offers something valuable, still has a role to play simply by the way you are present. That understanding is the final gift of the night, and it is what we will reflect on gently as we come toward the close. Namo, Amitabha, Buddha. When the heart is no longer racing to fix, to prove, to hold everything together, something very quiet begins to happen around you. The air feels softer, conversations slow, even silence becomes comfortable. It is as if, without trying, you have become a place where others can rest. This is one of the least spoken truths of later life. When you stop running, other people feel it. You may notice it in small moments. A child speaks a little more slowly when they call you. A grandchild lingers near your chair. A friend once guarded sighs deeply after sitting with you for a few minutes. No advice was given, no solutions offered, yet something eased. In Buddhist understanding, this is not coincidence, it is transmission. The Buddha taught that the mind and heart shape the space around them. When a person is agitated, the room tightens. When a person is calm, the room opens. This is why the presence of a monk, a nun, or a deeply practiced elder can feel grounding without a single word being spoken. After 60, your role quietly changes. Earlier in life, you may have been valued for what you could do. Your strength, your speed, your ability to solve problems, provide, protect, manage. But now, something else becomes more important: how you are. This is not a loss of purpose. It is a refinement of it. I once watched an elderly man named James sit on a park bench in the late afternoon. He did not look busy. His hands rested loosely in his lap. His gaze followed the movement of leaves in the breeze. A young mother sat nearby with a restless child. The child wandered closer, then closer still, finally sitting at James's feet. James did not engage. He did not entertain. He simply stayed present. The child grew quiet. The mother noticed. Her shoulders dropped. She smiled with relief. Nothing dramatic had happened, but something essential had. This is the power of not running. In American culture, especially, people are taught to value action, to stay productive, to keep contributing. So when the body slows, many feel a subtle shame. What am I useful for now? What do I offer? The Buddha would answer gently, you offer peace. Peace is not passive. It is not emptiness. It is a stabilizing force. When your heart is no longer full of self-judgment, it does not judge others as harshly. When your mind is no longer racing ahead, it listens more deeply. When you are no longer trying to control outcomes, people feel safer being themselves around you.
This is why elders who have softened become anchors in families and communities. You may see this at a dinner table. Someone begins to complain. The tension rises. Then you speak not with correction, but with calm. Your voice is steady. Your words are few. The conversation shifts. The edge dulls. This is Buddhist practice in daily life. The Buddha taught right speech, not as a rule, but as a natural expression of a settled mind. When the heart is calm, speech becomes kind without effort. When speech is kind, regret does not accumulate. When regret does not accumulate, the mind rests easily at night. This is karma unfolding in a wholesome direction. After 60, many people find they have less tolerance for noise. Emotional noise, unnecessary conflict, endless opinions. This is not withdrawal, it is discernment. The heart no longer wants to carry what does not nourish. You may say no more often. You may leave conversations earlier. You may choose quiet over stimulation. This is not weakness, it is wisdom. In Buddhism, compassion does not mean allowing everything. It means responding from clarity rather than reactivity. When you live this way, others sense it. They may not understand it. They may not name it, but they feel less pressure around you, less need to perform, less fear of being wrong. This is a great gift. I once heard a woman say about her grandmother, "When I sat with her, I felt like I could breathe." That is legacy. Legacy is not what you accumulated. It is what people feel in your presence. The Buddha taught that one moment of genuine calm can ease more suffering than many words. This is because calm communicates safety, and safety allows healing. After 60, you no longer need to chase meaning. Meaning emerges naturally when your life aligns with peace. You may worry sometimes. Am I doing enough for my family? Am I helping enough? But notice this: when you are calmer, others do not need as much help from you. They regulate themselves more easily. They find their own footing. Your stillness teaches without instruction. In many Buddhist communities in the United States, elders are respected not because they have all the answers, but because they have learned how not to add confusion. They sit, they listen, they bless with their presence. This is especially powerful in times of grief, illness, or uncertainty. When words fail, your calm remains. You may notice that when you stop running internally, you also stop demanding so much from yourself. You allow your body to move at its own pace. You rest when rest is needed. You say no without guilt, You say yes without resentment. This gentleness toward yourself extends outward naturally. The Buddha taught that compassion begins at home in your own heart. When that home is steady, others feel welcome there. And something very important happens as well. When you are no longer running, you stop spreading fear. You stop passing anxiety forward. You stop teaching urgency through example. Instead, you teach patience. You teach trust. You teach that life can be lived without constant tension. This is a profound contribution. In a world that moves quickly, a calm elder becomes a refuge. Not by standing apart, but by standing still. Tonight, as you lie down, you may reflect on this gently, not with pride, not with pressure, just with understanding. Your life as it is now matters, not because of what you are doing, but because of what you are no longer doing, no longer chasing, no longer fighting, no longer hardening. When you do not run, others find permission to rest. And when others rest, the world becomes a little kinder. This understanding often brings a quiet dignity, a sense that even as roles change, value remains. Even as strength fades, influence deepens. Even as life becomes simpler, meaning becomes clearer. This is the gift of arriving at this stage of life with awareness. As the night continues, let this truth settle gently in you. There is nothing you need to add, nothing you need to become. Your calm is already doing its work. And from this place of quiet contribution, the heart naturally turns inward one last time, ready to rest, ready to trust, ready to close the day with gratitude and grace. Namo, Amitabha Buddha. As the night settles more deeply around you, notice how little is being asked of you now. The room is quiet. The day has already loosened its grip. Your body knows the shape of rest. Your breath moves slowly like a tide that no longer needs to reach the shore. Tonight, you do not need to solve your entire life. This is one of the Buddha's most compassionate truths. Liberation does not come from finishing every task, answering every question, or fixing every mistake. It comes from knowing what can be set down, especially at the end of the day. You may feel the mattress supporting your back, the pillow holding your head. The muscles in your face soften. The space between your eyebrows smooths. Perhaps there is a faint sense of warmth in the chest, a quiet fullness that does not need words. This is enough. The Buddha taught that peace does not wait for conditions to be perfect. If it did, no one would ever rest. Peace appears when the heart stops demanding that the present moment becomes something else. After 60, this teaching becomes especially precious. Life has shown you its many faces: joy and loss, success and disappointment, closeness and distance. You have already lived through more than you once thought you could. There is nothing left to prove. What remains is learning how to end each day without carrying it forward like a burden. You have seen tonight how this is possible by allowing the body to become a refuge, by letting the mind gather around something gentle, by noticing the seeds being planted in quiet moments, by offering forgiveness to versions of yourself who did not know what you know now, by recognizing small supports that keep the heart anchored in the night, by letting goodwill flow outward, lightening what you hold, by understanding that your calm is already a gift to others. None of these steps required force. None required effortful positivity. They unfolded naturally like a lotus opening at dusk, not because it was told to bloom, but because the conditions were right. The Buddha never asked people to escape life. He asked them to meet life clearly, without fear, without cruelty toward themselves. Tonight, clarity does not look like answers. It looks like ease. You may still have concerns waiting for you in the morning. Appointments, conversations, decisions. But they do not belong to this moment. This moment belongs to rest. In many Buddhist homes across America, elders end the day with a simple bow of the heart, not to an altar, not to a figure, but to the truth that they have done enough for now. The body bows by lying down. The mind bows by letting go. You can offer yourself that bow tonight. If thoughts arise, let them pass like clouds. You do not need to follow them. If emotions surface, let them be felt without commentary. They will soften on their own when not fed. The Buddha taught that the present moment is the only place where suffering can end, because it is the only place where grasping can stop. As sleep approaches, you may notice a gentle heaviness in the limbs. The breath lengthens. The boundary between waking and resting grows thin. Trust this. Your body has known how to sleep long before the mind learned how to worry. Before drifting off, you may wish to rest with a single quiet intention, simple and sincere. May I rest tonight without guilt. May my heart be at ease. May all beings everywhere find a moment of peace. Let these words fade into the rhythm of breathing. They do not need to be repeated perfectly. Intention is enough. If you find comfort in the Buddha's name, you may allow it to accompany you softly, not as a chant, not as a task, but as a presence like a nightlight left on for reassurance. Each repetition slower than the last until the words dissolve into silence. Sleep is not something you must chase. It is something you allow. And even if sleep takes its time, know this: resting the heart is already healing. The night does not demand unconsciousness. It offers gentleness. You are not behind in life. You are not fading. You are arriving at a stage where clarity matters more than speed, and peace matters more than outcome. If these reflections have brought you a sense of calm, let them stay with you in the days ahead. You do not need to remember every word. Just return to what felt true. Return to what softened the heart. If you feel called to continue this journey, you are warmly invited to stay connected, to listen again, to share these moments of quiet wisdom with others who may be walking the same path. Each listener, each gentle heart helps spread a little more calm into the world. For now, there is nothing more to do. May you sleep deeply. May you wake gently. May your days be guided by understanding, and your nights be held by peace. Namo Amitabha Buddha.